So we are back again with another video, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a different video as I want to talk about my England Euro 2021 23 man squad, which is going to be a 26 man squad, because apparently for some reason they're doing 26 man. So the top 23 I've got there are my first 23, and then the three down here are going to be my last three, for my, just to fill up the 26. So the main three are those 23, and then obviously those three there. So if you do enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who would you change? Who would you choose? And if you support another country, tell me who would you take? Who are the players to look out for those countries? And obviously I do support England. That's what I'll be doing for the Euros. Whether I'll do any videos for that or not remains to be seen. I can't promise anything right now, but this video is about England and I'm going to be talking about them today. So let's get straight into it. First of all, we're going to look at the goalkeepers. So three goalkeepers. First one will be Nick Pope, Jordan Pickford, and Dean Henderson. Now, I don't think other than these three goalkeepers we really have anyone else. Is that a bad thing to say? I'm not too sure. But I think between these three goalkeepers, I think they're quite similar in ability. I know obviously they play for three very different clubs in terms of, Burnley are a lower level than it's Everton, then it's Man United. And Dean Henderson has been playing a lot for Man United this season. So I think who would start, I think it would probably have to be Dean Henderson, because he has been the most consistent out of the three. But I wouldn't be against starting either Nick Pope or Jordan Pickford personally. So I don't think it would be the worst idea, but I think for me it would have to be Dean Henderson out of those. But other than them three, there isn't much to choose from, I would have to say. So yeah, Nick Pope, Jordan Pickford, and Dean Henderson. So moving into our defenders, we have Luke Shaw, Ben Chilwell, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kyle Walker, Harry Maguire, John Stones, Mings, and Cody. So there are my defenders I have in the side. So let's dissect this. First of all, on the left hand side we have Shaw and Chilwell. Yeah, I think they're two very good options, and I think they've both had very good seasons. Some people said Chilwell will not live up to the price tag of £55 million, and maybe he hasn't, maybe he has. But I think he's been quite underrated this season. He's been very good, especially under Thomas Tuchel, and he has really come under his own at times. So I'm going to go with Ben Chilwell and Luke Shaw. I think Chilwell and Shaw, I think Shaw will be better a bit defensively, and Chilwell will be more of an attacking option, even though Shaw has got quite a lot of assists this season. But I think to have both of them as an option would be very good for us. So that's what I'm going to go with. Moving into the right backs, we have Alexander-Arnold and Kyle Walker. Now, there has been a lot of controversy surrounding Trent Alexander-Arnold, whether he would make the squad, because he did make the international qualifiers, I think, for the World Cup a few months ago, and that was big disappointment because he wasn't playing very well. But to be fair, Liverpool weren't playing very well, and the system that Jurgen Klopp has established for Liverpool over there meant that Alexander-Arnold played better, and because of the injuries, that it's decimated him in terms of his season and his performance levels. So I think for me, we have to keep Alexander-Arnold in there. I wouldn't start him as my number one. I'd go for Kyle Walker in that instance. But I think if we are going to maybe switch to a three at the back, that's what sometimes Southgate likes to do, then I think Alexander-Arnold has to play as the right wing back, especially because he has to do that. Because going forward, he's just so good. He'll provide us with so many options, and I think you'd be stupid to leave out Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I don't think Trippier has played much this season, obviously with the betting problems and stuff. So I would go with Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Kyle Walker would be my number one right back over there. So that's what I'm going to go with. Moving into the centre backs, I'm going to go with Harry Maguire, John Stones, Mings, and Cody. So I'm going to go with four centre backs. So obviously two would start, maybe a three at the back, and then one of the midfielders could slot in centre back if need be. But yeah, Harry Maguire and John Stones are going to be my starting pair. Harry Maguire, again, obviously he's not a 90-80 million pound footballer centre back in a million years, I would say. But the thing is with them two, yeah, they can be a liability at times, and that's what worries me, because in England squad we don't really have a top draw consistent centre back. We don't have that, so I think we'll have to stick with sometimes called the fridge, and someone like John Stones, who again, when he played against PSG, he was brilliant, John Stones. But it'll be very interesting to see how they pan out together. But I think the other two, Mings, Cody, I think they'll be good backups for us. They've both had decent seasons. Cody's a natural leader, obviously captain for Wolverhampton Wanderers. So if we need that, if we need him to come in for a few games or something, if there is an injury or something, then I think Connor Cody would be very good for. He's been good for a struggling Wolverhampton side. I'll give you that much. And I think our starting centre back pairing would be Maguire and Stones. So we are going to move in to the midfield now. And who have I got here? I've got Jordan Henderson, Mason Mount, Phil Foden, Declan Rice, and Phillips. So that is the midfield I've got. I am going to probably stick with the 4-3-3. I'll go over a bit more of that maybe in another video if I do that, if the response here is good. So Jordan Henderson, again, Liverpool haven't had the greatest season, but I think Jordan Henderson is a player that's had a few injury problems, but I would definitely 100% put him in, because I think Jordan Henderson is a top player in terms of, I want him to be a captain, but he's going to be a natural leader either way. And again, he's a top player in that midfield, and definitely Jordan Henderson in there. Next one, Mason Mount. Now, I know Mason Mount got pocketed by old Nenny at the time of recording the other day, but I love watching Mason Mount. Every time I watch him play, he's just fantastic. Same with Phil Foden. But I think for both of them, if you ask me to choose who is better, a lot of people would say Phil Foden. But for me, it's so much more than that. I think they're two very good footballers, and we're so lucky to have them in the same squad. So much so that we can't put the likes of maybe like Barnes in there, Maddison, Smith Rowe, so many more that could have made the squad. But yeah, I'm going to go with Mason Mount and Phil Foden as a sort of maybe number 10s, as you could say. The other two I've got is Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, who plays for Leeds. Declan Rice, again, he's had a very good season with West Ham, so I think it seems good to put him in there. Again, he can play DM. Same with Calvin Phillips. He can play centre-back, so again, good for rotation if we need him as a centre-back. And he can play DM, so I think, again, and Southgate prefers him, so I think it's realistic to have him there as well. And I don't see who else would put there, but on the other last three I've got, then it would make, then we'll see, I'm going to add another two midfielders, so it's going to be good there. Moving into my forwards, I've got Jadon Sancho, Harry Kane, Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford, Rahim Sterling, Bukayo Saka, and Jack Grealish. Now, this is a top front line, I have to say. We'll start with Sancho first. Now, with Jadon Sancho, again, he's not as good as the season he did last year, but again, he's such a good player in terms of he posts numbers, and he's been doing well for England as well, linking up with the likes of Kane and Rashford very well. So I think, again, no question over Sancho. Harry Kane, again, no question. He is a brilliant striker, top level, even performing so well for Tottenham, even though they did not win anything, and with all the problems they have got. So I think Harry Kane will probably be our starting striker. He'll probably be our captain, but yeah. Mason Greenwood is our next one. Now, I was very cautious with Mason Greenwood, whether I put him in or whether I don't put him in. But I think we need Mason Greenwood there. Reason why is he's probably one of our most natural finishers in the team, probably in the Premier League, probably, in our England team. So I think sometimes if we're chasing a goal or something, then bring on someone like Mason Greenwood, who knows how to find the net very, very well at a very high standard, would be very good for us. That's why I'm going to go Mason Greenwood and his Manchester United counterpart Marcus Rashford, who again has a bucket load of pace and again will give us a lot of options in that England team as well. Next one, Rahim Sterling. Again, he's not had as good as a season as he did last year, because I think the system Man City are playing in terms of they've got the no striker sort of system. They're all rotating, so maybe a bit of inconsistencies for Rahim Sterling, but he still had a very good season, and I think he has to be in there. Next one, Bukayo Saka. Arsenal bias? Maybe. But the reason I'm putting Saka in there, he's not going to be starting every single game, granted. But the amount of versatility he has really gives me something to say, look, he has to be in there solely because of the versatility he has. Because no one else in this team, in this squad, knowing other England player, has the kind of versatility he has. Right wing, left wing, right mid, left mid, centre mid, number 10, right wing back, left back, right back. He can play all them positions. He can play centre mid if you want him to. He can play so many positions. He's not going to be a key player for us, but I think he needs to be there. So I'm going to go Bukayo Saka. Next one, Jack Grealish. Again, he's had a few injury problems, especially towards the latter end of the season, but For me, he's such a top player, Jack Grealish. Love watching him when I have watched Aston Villa this season, which isn't a lot, but what I've heard from people as well, he looks like a top player, and he is a top player. And again, he played left-hand side for Aston Villa, but we've got the likes of Rashford, Sterling, Sancho, Saka. So again, will he play number 10? Will he play left? We'll have to see. Gareth Southgate doesn't like Grealish, but we need him there. We need him on the plane. So that's what I'm going to go with. So that is my 23. But now the final 3 to complete the 26-man squad, because that's what we will be taking. First of all, Jude Bellingham. Now for me, Jude Bellingham, I've watched him a few times this season play for Borussia Dortmund, and I think he is brilliant in terms of, what he can do with the ball. That game against Man City, I know Dortmund went out, but he had such a good performance, and I think that showed they can perform at the very top level, and that's why I'm going to go with Jude Bellingham. Next one, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I was going to put him in instead of Greenwood for the first 23, but I think maybe Greenwood has better finishing and he's been a bit more consistent, plays for a better team. But Calvert-Lewin, I'm going to put in there, get him on the plane as a 26, because the main reason is that I think he has a lot of aerial threat. And I think if you look at Kane, maybe not so much. Sterling's quite short, same for Rashford, maybe not Greenwood. So I think he provides a lot of aerial threat for us, Calvert-Lewin. So if we need that in a game, he could provide us something different. I think that's the sole reason for that. Last one, Jesse Lingard, Lingardinho, whatever you want to call him. He gets so much disrespect from people, but I think, again, he's had such a good end to the season with West Ham. He's been so good for them. Yes, he's picked up, I think, a few knocks or something, but he has to be there for me. Jesse Lingard, he's played for England before. He has that experience internationally, and I think that could be needed. He may not be a top player, but I think, having him around there could really help us. But that is it for my 23. Pope, Pickford, Henderson, Shaw, Chilwell, Trent, Walker, Maguire, Stones, Mings, Cody, Henderson, Mount, Foden, Rice, Phillips, Sancho, Kane, Greenwood, Rashford, Sterling, Saka, Grealish, Bellingham, Calvert-Lewin, and Jesse Lingard. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who would you pick to come on the plane to Europe, to this Euros 2021, and who do you think will win this competition? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.